Okay. Hmm. So far, this is going very well. Kasi very clear yung ano, uh, very clear yung pose, very clear yung silhouette. Actually, I'm going to accept this na for activity 1. So, ang concern ko na lang is when you work on this for activity 2. If you're going to push through, kasi you can push through with the same character when you go to activity 2. Pero I can suggest making the face more expressive. Diba? Kahit ganyan lang. Kasi ano you have to consider, well, part of the challenge if you're making, unless that character is wearing a helmet or something, part of the challenge is to incorporate yung character's expressions sa ganito kaliit na sprite. So, alternative eyes in layer 5. Okay. Yeah, this works. Now, a few things na pwede nating i-simplify is tong part na to sa shoulder. I think we can make this a little more clear. Kasi parang ang understanding ko is medyo naka foreshorten tong arm na to a little bit closer to the viewer. So maybe we can add that yung parang shoulder accessory niya here just to make it clearer. So good. May mga ibang parts lang na for example, ito, I can see that you're trying to put an outline here, pero dumidikit siya sa outline nung parang sleeve na to. So what's gonna happen is that's going to make the line look a little thicker. So we can take this part out and mas magiging clear yung read dito. Kasi once you have outlines that are thicker than usual, that's going to get attention, and you don't want to take attention away from the face kasi yun yung main focus mo. So you can simplify this a little bit, and then it's just going to make sense naman kasi this part is overlapping this part. But yeah, other than that, yeah, this is going well so far. So I think ito pwede mong i-tone down a little bit para lang hindi sila magdikit. So either that or make this overlap here. And other than that, yeah, this is good for activity 1 na you can submit this time. Okay, any questions? Okay, so after ni Christine, is Lawrence. Lawrence, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Right. All right. So I think there are a few more things we can do here. Since you are going for you're trying to do Astro Boy. So kasama kasi sa kasama na sa features ni Astro Boy yung thick rounded arms. So I think we can push that a little more.
Opo. Ang balak ko nga po sana, sir, yung parang naka-arc yung arm niya rather than like yung parang yung fist niya is like, wait lang, hanap ako ng may
Sige.
parang somewhat reference photo ako, sir.
Sige, send na mga reference para madali.
Para siyang ganito, sir. Not exactly like this, what I'm gonna send. Pero like yung idea niya ganito. Pero like, it's papunta sa body, yung right hand niya, sir. Like, right hand niya from our perspective. So, bale, parang
Ah,
naka-arch siya, pero like napunta sa body. Yung parang in a general fighting stance sana yung Goku. Pero like, hindi ko siya ma-visualize or magawa ng matino.
okay. Sige. So, I'm gonna show you a different way of visualizing this.
Sige ko pa, sir.
Kasi, usually sanay tayo doing lines. Right? So, let me just make this canvas a little bigger. Okay. So, ang maganda sa, with a lot of Astro Boy, actually, karamihan ng characters ni Osamu Tezuka is really based on rounded shapes.
Yan po.
Right? So, for example, if you look at yung body, actually just for the sake of it, I'm going to try to recreate that exact pose here.
Sige po.
Diba? Whether or not magawa ko siya ng tama remains to be seen, pero we'll see. Diba? So this is the head. So medyo itatry ko i-match yung size ng head ng gawa mo. So most of Osamu Tezuka's characters can be actually broken down into a series of circles. For example, yung torso, diba? Ito yung torso, kasi naka-tilt siya this way. Ito yung torso, ito yung pelvis. So I'm just using the shape tool. Hindi ako this is also a good way of doing gestures if you guys are having trouble with it. Actually, tap nandito. So, torso, pelvis, and then we can just connect that. So, circle, and then you have another circle here. Ito yung this leg. And then you have another circle here. And then this is this leg. Okay? And then you have that. So, here I'm trying to think in terms of silhouette.
Po.
Okay? Now, kapag hindi ka sure kung paano mo gagawin yung arm, mag-start ka with the position of the hand. Okay? So, ito yung position of hand. Na malapit sa face niya. And then, lakayan natin yung hands and then just find a way to connect that to the body. Ganyan muna. Okay, I think kailangan natin habaan yung legs ng konti. So hindi ako nagla-line art, I'm just focusing on getting the silhouette that we're trying to go for. Okay. So, yan, meron ka ng shape. Okay. So, ang point dito is to think in terms of shape. Now that you have that shape, gawa tayo ng outline. So this is supposed to be the fist and the upper arm. So, ang gagawin natin, we're going to add a line here indicating na this is overlapping yung upper arm. Again, hindi pa ako sure kung magagawa ko to ng tama. So I'm also trying to explore how to possibly get that pose. So one line here indicates that this is going in front of this arm. And then this line here indicates that everything here is going behind the body. So ito yung part na maybe black. Right. So, okay, so we can see here. I think dapat nandito yung hand. I think dapat iusog natin ng konti yung face. So I'm trying to figure this out.
Nagigets mo.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure this out as we go along. Pero Yeah, so we can add the shape for the hand here. Yeah. Okay, so and then makikita natin may overlap dito for the hand. Yeah, I think this works. Okay, so there's enough overlapping here. Uh, Worst case, we can just get this and put it underneath para like tago natin siya ganyan. Possible then that we made the arms a little bigger, a little too big, so we can make this these arms a bit smaller. And then this is going to overlap. Sige, Arian, that's all right. You can go. Okay, and then the leading shape there. So yeah, that's how I would approach it.
Gets naman, sir.
Sorry.
It's much more ano siya, for me, mas maganda yung parang yung ginawa nung una is like parang, yung body proportions muna. Kasi para sa'kin nung una kong ginawa, when I started first doing like yung head muna kumpletuhin ko and then the body kumpletuhin ko. Pero I think mas maganda yung parang yun nga, yung ginawa niya, sir, yung general idea or like yung general shape niya. So I think mas gets ko na siya kung paano siya i-draw ng mas ano, sir.
Yeah, kasi it's much easier to, parang, ang ginagawa natin, we're trying to solve the bigger problems first. Diba, like yung sinasabi, work big to small. Right now, ang biggest problem mo is where to place things. Kasi the thing about pixel art is it's basically precise placement of pixels to get what you wanted.
Opo.
Diba? So, uh, kung ganun, then having a guide for where to place your pixels is going to make it more easy.
Opo, sir.
Diba? So yun lang. Any questions so far?
None naman, sir. Yes naman. I think I'll redo the body like to yung reference ko since parang mas na-gets ko na siya.
Okay,
The
that's good.
arting is better po. Thank you po, sir.
All right. So on that note, guys, when all else fails, try to simplify. Okay. So moving on, kay Lance. Lance, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Give me a moment.
Sir, I actually made two. One is also part of yung module 2, yung colors. Nasa baba po.
Yeah, pero can you send me this in its yung original na pixel resolution niya? Kasi you're sending me upscaled na eh.
Okay, just wait.
Sige. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm just gonna move on kay Brendan, and then I'll go back to you. So Brendan, are you there?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, let me just start with this one. Ayan, this is better. Ano lang, bawasan lang natin yung jagged lines. Pero yeah, it's much cleaner now. So tingnan ko na yung colored version.
Sir,
And
I have
so,
already
so, ang ano ko dito, Brendan, is try to shift your hues when you're adding color. So for example, orange, shift it closer to red kasi it's closer to purple. Actually, kahit desaturate natin ng konti. And you'll see it makes a pretty big difference. Pero I understand this is still in progress.
Yes po, sir.
So, yun lang. Ang reminder ko lang sa'yo for now is to make sure that you are shifting your hues. And again, that's going to make a big difference. Hindi lang halata agad sa umpisa, pero once you put all the colors in, it's going to make a big difference. Okay? Do you have any questions, Brendan?
Yung shape ng character po, sir, yan i-comments po, parang improvements on po, sir. Meron ba ba?
Ang tingin kong kailangan na improvement dito is the pose itself. Kasi right now, it's just a standing pose.
Okay po, sir.
So, kung kaya mong gumawa ng pose na mas dynamic, like an action pose, it's not impossible to do an action pose this small. So, yun lang. Masyado lang generic yung standing pose at the moment.
Sige po, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Alright, so is this the one that you're saying is for activity 2?
Yes. It's
This,
I
I'm sorry?
is it's also module 1, sir. I just kinda combined it.
Yeah, kaso this won't work as activity 2 because all you did right now is just add shadow.
Yes.
Pretty much the same thing with just shadow underneath. Okay? So that being said, there's not a lot I can point out here because it's a very simple character. So right now, ang mapo-point out ko lang is to remove jagged lines.
Okay, sir.
Pero other than that, I need to see a fully colored version instead of just adding shadows before I could give you comments on the colored version.
Okay. I'll do it na to.
Okay. So moving on after ni Lance is sino after ni Lance? Okay. Dwight? Dwight, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Wait, meron kang note dito. Using the layer named new tracer copy 1. Tracer copy 1. Okay, so ito, nakabukas na siya. This looks good. This is a good start. Pero I think we can make this better. Yung pose and all the other features. So, one thing we can do is we can increase the tilt of the torso a little bit. So, madali lang yan. You can just grab this and wait. Grab this upper part and the arms and move it a little bit there. So parang nagtitilt ng backwards ng konti yung torso. I think we can take out some parts here that we don't need. We can push some features a bit more. Wait lang. Mukha lang ng picture ni Tracer. Right, we can push some features a bit more, like for example, exaggerate the goggles that she's wearing. Just to make it more obvious. We can also make the make the legs a bit more, make the pose of the legs a bit more dynamic. So yun lang. For now, just the pose. Like make the pose a bit more dynamic.
Sige po, sir. Noted po.
Pero other than that, this is a very good start.
Okay po, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Actually, mas maganda kung this leg, just make it in the same plane as this leg. Kasi hindi naman talaga tayo susunod sa typical perspective rules dito. So, this will still work with something like this.
So no need for like parang different like in sa perspective po, sir.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, if this is supposed to be the leg na nakaharap, then you can add a line here indicating that overlap.
Okay po, sir. Noted.
So, pwede ka rin maglagay ng line dito to indicate na nag-fold to.
Okay po.
Okay. Pero good job so far.
Okay po. Thank you, sir.
Alright, so sino after ni... ito yung kay Anton. Pero wala ata si Anton dito.
Yes po. May doctor's appointment po ata si Anton.
Okay. Pero maganda na yung, maganda yung work niya. Yeah, actually, okay na ako sa, okay na ako for this. Wala naman ako issues with this. I think we can just stretch the leg a bit more. Pero other than that, yeah, wala naman akong issue. Natanggapin ko na yung work ni Anton. Okay na. Okay, so moving on kay Shella. Shella, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, alright. Para naalala ko tong mascot na to. Sikat to sa nung 90s, di ba? Wait, I'm just gonna grab an image real quick. Yeah, I remember this mascot. May mga, alam ko may t-shirt ako nito nung bata ako. Like when I was a toddler. Yes, Dwight, it's alright. Okay, so when this is already a good start so far. Pero may parts lang that get a bit inconsistent. Like for example, here, this part here sa body. Right? So, ang suggestion ko dito is to take advantage then of the simplicity of the shape, the character. So, looking at the reference image that you have here, I'm assuming yung nasa top left, that's what you're trying to do. Tama ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I'll show you an easier way to do this. So, a good way of figuring out what shapes to use is to break your character down into what shapes can be combined to get that character. For example, the head can be two ellipses. So you can have one circle here and then a wider ellipse here. Diba? And then that's already his head. Yung body can be one large circle here. Diba? Yung ilalim niya is going to be white. So try to think of this in terms of simple shapes. So mamaya natin clean up yan. We're just blocking things in. Pero kasi parang bell na shape siya. Pero take advantage of shape tools to make it easier. Kasi yung legs niya and feet are also circles. Yeah, tapos you have this triangular thing for the arm, and then you have another shape here for the arm. Diba? So, from there, tayo maglalagay ng outlines. So we're gonna place those where we need them. And that makes the process significantly easier. From there, you can just draw all the other features. Okay. Yes, Brendan, you may go. So you get what I'm saying, Shella?
Yes po, sir.
Yeah. So mas madali tas yung stripes just are just one line each.
Yes, much more easier sa pinagawa ko.
Diba? Laging ganun, if when all else fails, think in terms of shape and try to simplify. Okay. Pero yeah, mas simplified na hindi naman tayo gumamit ng anything complicated like perspective grids and all that. Pero just think in terms of shape. So break it down to how many shapes you can break that character down into and use that as a starting point. Okay? Clear?
Okay po, thank you po, sir.
Okay. May questions ba?
None po.
Okay. So, after Nishella is Kyle. Kyle, are you there?
Hello, sir.
Okay. Sige. Just open yung...
Sir, nag-send pala ako ng mali pala yung isa kong sprite dyan.
Wait, check ko. Wait, wala akong nakikita. Ayun. Ito pala. Kakasend mo lang pala.
Yes po.
Okay, so ito yung tama. Itong
Yes po.
MK2. Okay. Teka, magko-close lang ako ng files kasi ang dami nang nakabukas.
Okay po.
May hirapan na akong isa-isahin yung ano. Parang halos every term may nagsasubmit sa akin ng Monokuma. Class na to.
Talaga, sir?
Oh, this is not the first one. Feeling ko, I vaguely remember 2 other instances na may nagsubmit sa akin ng Monokuma. Tapos itong si Omen, hindi ko kilala itong mga characters na to, pero I remember them from previous classes. Okay, so I guess they're popular enough.
Yes po.
Okay, so for dito kay Monokuma, a few things we can do here. Not a lot, pero make the red eye brighter.
Okay.
Okay, pero that's pretty much it. Nothing much we can do here at the moment. Kasi
Okay po.
very straightforward naman. So focus tayo dito. Okay. So dito naman, suggestion ko would be to figure out first kung ulitin ko yung mga sinabi ko sa previous people. Figure out first where the hands are and where the feet are, and then connect them to the body. Right? Instead of doing it as like one gesture. Kasi this can be significantly improved if we try that, I think. So yeah. Diba? And make the arms and legs a bit more expressive. Kasi ano dito ang isa pang challenge dito is may suot siyang cloak eh.
Yun nga sir yung ano ko, gusto ko gusto ko ipakita talaga yung arms but yung nahihirapan ako dun sa scarf ano niya. Yun.
Okay. So ganito gawin natin. First, we're going to plan the pose and plan yung magiging position ng hand. Or ng hands rather. Diba? So ito yung magiging let's say ito yung magiging position ng torso. Mamaya natin problemahin yung cloak. Right? And then add the position of the feet. Okay? And then add yung position ng arms. Kapag alam mo na yung position ng arms and position ng feet, then it's much easier to take the cloak and drape it around the arm.
I see.
Diba? So, kunyari ito yung shadow niyan.
Mas ano siya sir, mas expressive nga. Yeah.
Diba? Kasi syempre, poproblemahin mo rin kung ano yung ginagawa ng arm underneath the cloak, diba? Or kung nasan yung arm underneath the cloak. Kasi otherwise, magiging off yung proportions mo. So, yan.
So sir, ginawa mong ginawa mo sa likuran yung ano niya, yung cloak niya ganon.
Kasi, sinretch ko kasi itong arm na to eh. Pero kung ang ginawa ko sa arm na to is, ginawa ko siyang ganito, naka-straight siyang ganyan, then most likely, magde-drape to on top of it. Pero at the same time, since alam ko kung nasan yung pwesto ng arm, alam ko kung hanggang saan magde-drape yung cloak.
Okay.
So yeah, ang gusto ko makita dito is a more dynamic pose.
Okay po, okay.
Okay? Are we clear?
Yes po, clear po.
Alright. Sige,
Thank
so
you, sir.
sino? Okay. Sino after ni Kyle? Si Yanla? Yanla, are you there? Okay. So, yeah, balikan ko lang yung... Tapos, yes, Isa, that's much better.
Okay, so
Yeah, mas
didn't mean
rigid na siya ngayon.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Alright, good. Okay, balikan ko lang yung reference ni Yanla. Okay. Okay, so, pagdating sa ganito, especially if you're doing anime characters that are, like, have very expressive faces, isipin mo na, first of all, this is a good start, by the way. Kuha mo naman yung 3 colors. Although may parts dito like these lines here sa leg that I don't think we need for the sake of readability. But I also want you to think about when you guys are doing these very limited sprites. Imagine nyo siya as something na like something you're producing with a very limited budget. Diba? Let's say na parang kunyari gumagawa kayo ng film or a game, mas accurate, di ba? Ano ang kung limited yung budget mo, di ba? Ano yung saan mo dapat pinaka-allocate yun? That's how I tend to imagine space for limited resolution na pixel art. So for example, if it's going to be a face na expressive, kasi parang yun yung ay, may colored version ka pala. Colored version is, yung colored version, ang masasabi ko lang is mag-shift ka ng hues. At least at the moment. Pero ang comment ko with the overall is you can make this a bit more expressive. We can capitalize more on yung face ng character if we allocate a higher amount of space to that face. Diba? So, mag-a-adjust ka. Lalakihan natin yung face, liliitan natin yung ibang parts ng body. And we're thinking in terms of shape. So, mamaya ako nalilinisin yan. I'm just trying to get a feel for how big her hair is going to be. And then, again, gesture. And liliitan natin ng konti yung body to make room for the details that we want to focus on. Diba? And even if we don't have enough room for facial expressions like yung definitely we don't have enough room for facial expressions. So pwede nating idaan sa body language. And again, we're going to look at this as large shapes. And yeah, we have we can get the personality of the character, which is clearly being seen dito sa character design na sinend mo. And we can use that as the basis for our sprite. Is this clear so far, Yanla? Are you still there? So, yun lang. This is already a good start. Nakikita ko na you're able to allocate colors and na. Ang gusto ko lang for this session is for you to see na there are still ways to get that yung feel ng character from a more limited resources natin. So yeah, I just wanted to try this out kasi nagte-take ka rin ng comp art ngayon so this also falls under that. And yung mga nagko-comp art ngayon, ang gagawin nyo ngayon is yung thumbnails nyo, which also requires a lot of clear gestures in very small drawings. So this is a perfect way of getting a better hang of that. Yan, para, di ba, sinasabay ko na yung conc art dito. So yeah, do you have any questions? Okay, so moving on after ni Yanla is I think si Dale, if I'm not mistaken. Pero yeah, I'm just going to check. Yes, si Dale nga. Okay, so dalawang file. Unahin natin itong isa. Okay na to, Dale. I'm gonna accept this na. This is much better than last time. Kasi yung last time parang dots lang yung face di ba? So yeah, this is going very well. Yeah, so yeah, good job sa improvement. Okay, so let's look at yung Crash Bandicoot na sample. This one's looking good actually. Okay. Shift ka ng hues, that's good. Ang mapo-point out ko lang dito is yung direction ng light and how you do highlights. Again, avoid doing highlights and shadows simply on the edges. It's better to put your highlights. Although consider mo rin if you really need highlights. Right? Kasi like yung pantalon ba ni Crash is a material that's going to be shiny. Kasi kung hindi, then you can take out the highlights and it's still going to read. Diba? I think we can also reduce the amount of black lines here. Although I think, yeah, you can try that as well sa ibang parts dito. And also yung shoes, right? If you're going to make highlights, you can put highlights like this. Don't use the edges for adding highlights. Sorry. Yep. Also, so gawin nating mas clear yung light source. So let's say that the light source is coming from here, which means part of this is going to be in shadow. So mas magiging readable yung part na yun ng shoe. You can also do the same here. Yung pants, we can make the part where the knees bend have shadow kasi that would make more sense since that's bending. And yeah, we can put this part of the leg in shadow kasi malaki naman yung sakop nung pants, diba? So mag-block naman yung light dyan. For other parts like the teeth, you can use a lighter. Actually, pwede mo i-recycle yung blue dito just to make that a little less detailed. Or you can actually get another color here that's whiter. Diba? You can also do that sa eyes, actually. Pwede naman. Just make it. Yeah, pwede naman, pero just make it lighter and it will still work. Also, you can do. Preference ko lang lagi pag white is blue ang ginagamit ko, light blue. You can also put something like this eyes underneath the eyebrow. So this will add a bit more depth to the character kasi 'di ba na obscure yung light dito. So you can add blue there to indicate that that part of the eyeball is in shadow. You can also do the same for teeth. Something like that. Actually, hindi masyado nag-work yan, so let's scratch that. Siguro pwedeng i-anti-alias na lang natin with this in certain areas. Pero yeah, pero so far so good. I think you're doing a good job here so far. So okay pa naman. Any questions? May reference image ka ba nun? Nung iniisip mong yan? Sige. Okay, kasi kung ganyan, mostly yung direction ng hair and direction ng feet. Okay? Kasi kung mapapansin mo yung isang paa pointing downward, isang paa pointing upward. So, kung gagawa tayo ng gagawa na ako ng extra space sa canvas dito. So, tingnan natin kung pwede natin siyang kunin sa gestures. Right? So, yung body ni Crash actually is very triangular. Pwede ka mag-start with a triangle like this. Diba? So, nandito yung head and yung arms. Tapos from here, yan, pwede mo ituro yung foot downward. Itong foot na to, itaas mo ganyan. And yan, makukuha mo na yan. Is something like this. Magmumukha talaga nakaangat lang yung leg. So idadaan mo sa ano. So yung, di ba, yung hair is going this way. Idadaan mo sa ano, sa position ng feet, position ng body, and yan yung gravity effects, like yung tenga niya, pag ganyan na rin. Right? Is that clear? And yung overall line of action as well. Okay? Okay tayo so far? May follow-up questions ka ba? Alright. Okay. Pero yeah, good job dito sa ano, sa colored versions. This is really good. Okay, so sino after ni Dale? Oops, ano, sama. Robbie, are you here?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. And then ang last natin, I guess, is Joaquin. So, okay, side up. So for something like this, ang suggestion ko for this is to exaggerate a bit more. So for example, yung eyes, whenever you make whenever you put too many outlines in a lot of things, it affects how readable this is. For example, if we take out some of the outlines, this actually shows up as more readable to the viewer. In fact, pwede natin lakihan yung eye if we want. So, bawasan natin yung outlines here. And I think that will work better. For this one, so magkakaroon ka rin ng jagged line when you're drawing a curve na kasi when you're drawing curves, you have to consider the number of pixels per row. So, for example, I think na-cover ko naman to sa line art video, so you can rewatch that if ever kailangan mo. Pero basically, when you're drawing a curve, nagre-reduce yung number ng pixels per row. So, kunyari, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. Tapos, you shift directions and then balik ka sa 1, 2, 3. So that's how you usually make curves. So we can do that here as well. Well, we can move this around just to make that curve a bit smoother. And move this around just to make that curve a bit smoother. You can also move this around just to make that curve a bit smoother. Actually, wait. Lakihan natin ng konti. Yan. Okay. So yeah, so when you're planning on using curves, you can move stuff around para basically, parami ng parami yung pixels per row, and then shift ko konti ulit, tapos parami ulit ng parami, or pakonti ng pakonti. Parang may arrangement yung number of pixels per row. Is that clear so far, Robbie?
Yes po.
So yeah, basically it. That's or since looking at the reference image, parang mas dapat mag-curve pa siya ng konti dito. So we can push that a bit more. Something like this, right? Pero yeah, either way, good start so far. So hihintayin ko na lang yung next. Do you have any questions?
None po, sir.
Okay. Sige. So, moving on, after kay Robbie is Joaquin. Joaquin, are you there?
I'm here, sir.
Alright, so... And then after ni Joaquin, sagutin ko yung question ni Lawrence. So... Just get Ian's work. Okay, this is okay for this activity, pero this will be a bit difficult to color dun sa color activity, so I need you to make one that has more distinctive features. Right, like maybe play around with the proportions, make the head bigger just so you have room for facial expressions. Kasi it's working naman, like I like how clear the gesture is and the silhouette is at the moment. Although this arm here can be better. Okay, pero for the next activity, so I'm gonna accept this na, Joaquin, for the submission for the first one. Pero for the second one, try something more expressive, like something that I can actually see the facial features. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, pero yeah, this one's good for activity 1. I do have to note na you're better off using the same color for the scarf here, for the outfit here, because right now it's different colors, but it's also values are competing. So it's best to keep it simple. You have, Isa, you have the option to use the same character for all the activities. You also have the option to not use the same character. So yeah, you can push through with Bowser naman, since you already have that. Grabe naman kung after kong gawin lahat ng feedback dun sa submission mo, tsaka ako sasabihin na pero kailangan mo ulitin from the start. Pero yeah, it's you have the option to use the same character. Pero if the same character is going to be difficult for the next activity, then yeah, try something try something else. Wait, nandito si Mai. Sige, Mai, ihabol mo na yung work mo dito. Ikaw na next if ipila mo dito. Okay, so let me just answer some of the questions sa chat so far. Yes, Kyle, this is much better. Pero I suggest making the gun bigger and the hands bigger para mas expressive. And
Okay po, sir.
and then dito sa question ni Lawrence, if I were to draw the souls. So, ganun din. Nakabukas pa ba yung kinlose ko na ba kinlose ko ni Astro Boy kanina. O sige, dito na lang.
Hindi, okay lang. Naisip ko sir, like, okay, kasi since dalawang color lang ba, naisip ko lang like, since nag-outline ako, sir, okay lang ba parang i-draw ko na lang yung parang outline ng soul? Would that be like, okay lang ba? Or like, diretso ko ng parang hindi siya naka-face sa camera yung soul?
Actually, a good option would be, so let's say ito yung shape ng paa, di ba?
Apo, sir.
A
Yan.
good option would be to either use black as the shape of the sole.
Okay.
So yan, that will work.
Okay.
Or lagyan mo talaga ng outline.
Yung parang nag-overlap yung outline.
Pero ako, mas madali para sa akin yung ganito na lang. Kasi,
Okay po.
para mas gusto ko
identifiable. Oo.
Tsaka mas madaling mag-isip in terms of shape when it's smaller sprites.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir. Yun lang.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, I'm gonna check my work and then we're going to, I think we can end the session after that. So,
Sir, yung ano po yun? Yung Pocoyo 3 colors sa taas.
Pocoyo 3 colors, where?
You didn't, ano po siya, layer?
Wait, so bakit nandito si L?
Ano po kasi, sir, yan po yung mga una kong ginawa. Si Ponito, si L, tapos sinabi po sa akin na kailangan na 3 colors, tas line art.
Okay. Pero maganda tong start mo kay Ponyo.
Thanks, sir.
So you might want to continue that. So yung pinakataas, ito.
Apo.
Yeah, this is much better. So
Sir, yung po usually anong size po yung ginagamit?
anything between 32 by 32 to siguro 50 by 50 is okay for this, at least for this first one. Pero yeah, this is much better, although yeah, we have edges that we can trim a little bit. Right, like there are parts that we can simplify. Yung ibang parts dito, so kasi ang medyo nagiging awkward tignan dito since naka-tilt siya slant ng pa-slant, which I feel like you're challenging yourself with this kasi sinlant mo siya instead of the usual front view. So if you're doing something like this, then this is a good time to use anti-aliasing to smooth things out. So we can use this blue here to make the transition between curves a little smoother.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Diba? Or you can just make the eyes smaller kasi maliit naman talaga yung eyes ng character. So I think we can simplify this a bit further. Something like that. So yeah, medyo challenging kasi nakaslant siya. Pero yeah, this is much better than the last time. The last one na yung kaninang umaga. Ito lang, we just have to connect this foot here. Alright, this is good now. I think you can move on to the next one.
Okie dokies. Thanks, sir.
Alright. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna end this session here na. So, alright, so yung usual check natin. How is everyone doing? Are you all doing okay? Kamusta kayo with school? Kamusta kayo with life in general? Wala pa namang nababurn out or anything? Kamusta kayong lahat? I hope everyone's
Okay lang naman
healthy.
for now. Buti yung
Hindi pa, sir.
Buti lahat ng profs, sir, including yung same kayo ng parang pace, yung parang mga soft deadline, hard deadlines lang. So hindi siya ganun ka pressuring pero like, may incentive pa rin gawin. Parang ganun, sir. So,
Okay. Pansin ko ilang beses nang mini-mention ni Isa yung 3 subjects lang siya this term. So, pag nag-academic advising ka sa finals, dadagdagan kita. Dadamihan ko yung So, Finiflex niya talaga na 3 subjects lang siya eh. So,
And one of my subjects is Desproc, so it's basically 5 subjects or something.
okay. Pero, good luck with those going through Desproc, by the way. Kasi, and going through Capstone after. Yung Cyberpunk Edge Runners, lumabas na nga pala. No? I haven't seen it yet. I don't play Cyberpunk, pero uh, nakita ko yung, may nakita akong clips. So, I think like, I saw clips of fight scenes. So, yeah, mukhang maganda yung, Kamusta Masters? Ayun, may assignment ako after pagkatapos ng session na to, diretso ako dun. Siguro mga 2 years pa. By my estimate, mga 2 years pa. So yeah, after ng session natin, diretso ako sa schoolwork ko. So, nagsabay yung umpisa ng for the first time, halos sabay yung umpisa ng DLSU tsaka umpisa natin. So, naka-align yung term ko sa term nyo. So, habang nagpa-finals kayo, nagpa-finals din ako. Yan. Thanks, guys. Hindi. Online pa rin kami. Every Saturday. So, pag Saturday, kung hindi ako nagre-reply sa inyo, pag may tinatanong kayo ng Sabado, that's probably why. May isa akong F2F class. Hindi naman cramming. I try not to cram. Minsan di mo maiwasan, pero lately I've been trying to finish things as early as possible kasi ang daming medyo mahirap i-juggle with a full-time job yung ACADS. So I've been trying not to cram. Kasi ayoko na magpuyat. Which reminds me, huwag kayong mag-cram for any of your subjects, especially this one. Okay? So, make sure iwasan niyo yung cramming and make sure you have allocated time na focused work and then allocated time na focused rest. Yeah. So, dapat may focused na kayo. May time kayo for may time kayo to recharge and hindi nyo cramming is a habit I have to break. Well, considering na 3 subjects ka lang, maybe you don't have to cram.
Sir, I'm gonna stop mentioning my 3 subjects, I promise.
Yeah. Especially for the Concord students. Yeah, yung Concord students na kailangan mag-submit ng 90 thumbnails sa akin sa Monday. Shout out sa Concord students.
Ang saya.
So, yeah. Hala, hindi alam ni Yanla. Yes, kasi next Monday tayo mag-meet, di ba? So, pero in the event na hindi ka patapos, sige, just show me what you have on Monday. Kasi itutuloy nyo naman, magbibigay ako ng time magbibigay ako ng time for you guys to work on it while you're in school. So, ang submission is not Monday na magkita tayo. It's Monday na just the day itself. Okay? So yeah. Chill ka lang. Ayun, tapos may mga AdCart students din ako dito. Shoutout sa AdCart students na gagawa din ng ganung karaming sketches the following week. So, mas matindi yung sa AdCart kasi yung AdCart, so for those of you who are taking Concart right now, yung gagawin natin for the entire term, kalahating term lang gagawin sa AdCart. Basically, yung gagawin natin sa Concart ngayon is going to be times 2 para dun sa mga AdCart students. So yan. If you're considering taking AdCart, I deliberately avoided AdCart because of the Concart trauma. Marami namang alternative na electives that you can take. Right? I actually recommend artists to take dev electives if you can handle dev electives.
Camping.
Yeah. Also, yung mga electives na under Sir David or Sir Craig, if I remember correctly, GD Synth is an elective.
Yes, sir. JD Synth.
Yeah, so GD Synth, I believe, is under Sir Craig. And Sir Craig is an award-winning filmmaker. Diba? BAFTA award, this is Sir Craig, if you don't know. That's like the equivalent of the Oscars UK, if I understand correctly. Pero yeah, so if you can take, if you want to take a non-drawing elective, I recommend taking GD Synth. Or if you have electives na under kay Sir David, literally any class that you can take under Sir David, self-proclaimed Sir David hype man ako. So any subject na hinahandle ni Sir David is something that you should take. So kung may makita kayong electives under Sir David, just take that immediately. Kasi si Sir David is top tier yan. Right? That's the siya na yung para sa akin siya yung top tier na kahit ano kayang gawin. Right? So he's really good at a lot of things. He understands a lot of things and he has a very wide amount of experience. If I remember correctly, Sir David actually worked on Prince of Persia. I forgot which Prince of Persia that was, pero he did work with Ubisoft at some point, if I remember correctly. So, diba? Marami kayong makukuha kay Sir David. So yeah, any subject under Sir David is worth the hype. Sir David hype man ako. I've been a Sir David hype man since 2016 kasi 2016 ko siya na-meet. So yeah, any subject under Sir David is worth taking. Okay? Pero I do hope na you guys are managing so far. Dun sa mga medyo na burnout last term or I do hope that you're making adjustments to your schedules as well to make sure na nagagawa niyo lahat ng dapat niyong gawin. Okay? And yeah, I do hope everyone is getting enough rest as well. Standards higher than the sun. Yeah, but that's a great way of to learn if you're has high standards, diba? Kasi if you think about it, if you're trying to reach higher standards, even if you don't reach those standards, you'll probably have gone farther than if you were keeping your standards low. Okay, so just think of it that way. And every now and then, remind yourself that you are growing, you are improving. Check your own work from before. Compare your older works para makita nyo rin na nag-i-improve kayo. Okay. Anyway, I think we can end this section here na. So as usual, take care, stay safe, ingat kayong lahat, and I'll see you all next week. And for those taking Concart, I'll see you all on Monday.
Thank you po, sir.
Salamat.
Thank you, sir. Ano, masarap ulam nyo.
Okay, kayo din.
Salamat.